Hunt with passion. Never stop casting. Chase the dream. Welcome to Season 6 of Musky Mastery Outdoors. Brought to you by Bucher Outdoors, #1 in big game fish products. And by Recon Boats, made by craftsmen, built for fishermen.
Hey everybody, what's up, and welcome back to another Musky Quick Tips segment here on the Musky Mastery YouTube channel. Well folks, Steph and I just caught and released a beautiful muskie on a glide raider here. And every single time after I catch a fish, or even better yet, every single time after I have a significant strike, I always sharpen my hooks. Now a couple things, because you've guessed it, this musky quick tip video is about sharpening musky treble hooks, or just sharpening musky hooks in general. There's a lot of literature out there in different books, but I haven't seen a lot of great videos about how to properly sharpen a hook. Now, before we go any further, I want to just make this clear. Hooks do not come razor sharp out of the package. Manufacturers, whether they're hook manufacturers or whoever it is, they're sharp, but they're not as sharp as they can be. So it's up to us, the anglers, to ensure that our hooks are sharp right out of the box and after every catch. Muskies are tough to catch, okay? And their jawbone, their whole mouth is just, it's a very difficult type of flesh and bone to penetrate, so our hooks need to be razor sharp all the time. And they take a lot of abuse. They're hitting weeds, wood, rocks, all sorts of debris, and just over time they will rust. So you need to make sure you're always inspecting your hooks and making sure they are in tip-top shape all the time. Terminal tackle failure is a problem, and you do not want to be losing muskies due to poorly manicured hooks. You got to make sure these hooks are in tip-top shape. So the first thing I want to talk about here, before we go and actually talk about the hook sharpening process, okay, is the tool I'm using, all right? This is a Bucher Outdoors hook file. I have taken the butt end off of it. It just fits in my ammo box easier. It fits in my hand easier. I can manipulate it easier. Any good hook file will work. Just make sure that you keep it out of the rain. This is always, anytime it starts misting or raining, this thing gets put away. I go through a couple of these a year, maybe one a season if they're properly maintained, okay? You can use some bar and chain oil on these and kind of massage out some of that rust, but otherwise, just keep it out of the rain and these will stay in pretty good shape for a long period of time. The other thing that I want to talk about here before we actually start the hook sharpening process is just do an overall analysis of your lure. Once a big muskie, or any size muskie for that matter, is jumping around in the net and thrashing, they can do a lot of damage to split rings, hook eyes, leaders. So just do an overall check. Of course, check your line, make sure there's no nicks in the line and things like that. Looks like my split rings are fine. Next thing I'm going to check are the actual barbs on the hook itself, okay? You want to make sure the muskie has not pinched down one of these barbs, okay? So really just check those barbs, make sure that they are away from the actual shank of the hook, okay, that they actually have a catching ability. What you don't want to have, at least I'm just speak for myself, I'm not looking to fish barbless for muskies anytime soon, okay? At least not in the waters I fish, okay? So just check your barbs and just make sure that they are looking good and that they're in tip-top shape, okay? Now, let's talk about what it takes to sharpen a hook, okay? It's not that complicated, okay? Essentially, what I like to do is I like to start on the side opposite of the barb, okay? I'm gonna actually just put my spot lock on here. I'm gonna start on the side opposite of the barb and essentially work all the way around the hook very gently. The key here is to be gentle with the hook file. You wanna, try your best to avoid just going to town on this hook and whittling it down. You're going to save on the lifespan of the hook by going gently, and you're gonna have a sharper hook. So again, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna kind of show you, I'm gonna walk you through my hook sharpening process. So again, I'm gonna usually start on the side opposite the barb, and I'm just, hear that? There's a burr there, okay? So I'm gonna go real light in an upward fashion. I just upward strokes here, and see how I'm just going around? I'll start opposite the barb on this left side here, and I'm just working my way all the way around in a circular motion here. And actually, one of the most important things now is go on the side of the barb here. Hear that? And just gently brush upward until you don't hear that. I'm actually inside now, inside on the barb side, brushing upward. Okay, now I'm gonna work around. I'm gonna go opposite the barb once more, and now I'm gonna go on the, what is to my right side inside, okay? There we go. Now, and that's just one hook there. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'll do this in real time. I'm gonna do the outside opposite the barb. I'm gonna work all the way around. Hear that? There we go. Do the other inside there all the way around, and you do that on all the hooks. Now, a lot of folks will say something like this, oh, test it on your fingernail. True, the hook should be sharp enough to catch your fingernail, but by doing that, you're gonna dull your hooks. So you don't need to test it on your fingernail. Just make sure that the idea here that I like to tell folks when you're sharpening hooks is, first of all, light is better than overkill when it comes to pressure. You want to have a light pressure, and you want to you literally want to do a circle around the point of the hook. A lot of folks like to think about like an arrowhead shape, and I just don't know that that's necessarily the best way to think about sharpening the hook. I think you need to sharpen all the way around the hook, okay? So again, I'm gonna go outside, opposite the barb, and then from there, you'll see the inside is really the forgotten part here. You can hear that burr right there. Inside, inside. So you go all the way around. You do that on every hook on your treble hook. And there you have it, folks. This is a common routine in my boat. Every day I start fishing, I'll just give each one of my my treble hooks a little bit of a glance, and every time I have a strike, every time if I hit a significant piece of structure, I will check and make sure these hooks are in tip-top shape. It's super important. It doesn't take very long, and it will help you to catch more muskies. Well, I really hope you've learned something here on this quick tip segment. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. Hopefully you guys are sticking them this fall. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching.